road to the World Series. Today we finish off this series here against the Braves, the only series we will see them regularly this year. And today they have Julio Teheran going for them, having a really good season so far on a really bad ball club. He'll be facing up against Kyle Hendricks, who's 2-1, been pitching pretty well this year. His only loss, he did not pitch well, but his other three starts, he's pitched very well. And then yesterday, if you remember correctly, we came back in the 8th inning to win it on a 2-run homer by Ben Zobrist, and we ended the month of April very strong. And let's see if we can start the month of May well. Without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and kick it out to Matt, Eric, and Steve out at Wrigley Field, and I'll be back after this one, guys. Enjoy.
Doesn't get much better than this. Afternoon baseball from Wrigley Field in Chicago. Game 1 here in the month of May between the Atlanta Braves and the Chicago Cubs. It's Cubs baseball on the show next. Kyle Hendricks, the California-born right-hander, is on the mound. Eric, any thoughts?
Well, guys, he's got a 2-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio, so he's throwing the ball pretty well. We'll see how that translates into this one.
Ender Inciarte makes his way to the plate, and we are ready for some daytime baseball.
The left fielder, number 11, Ender Inciarte.
Underway now in the Sunday finale as the game's first pitch is taken for ball 1. EK, one-year-old ball clubs, the Cubs, as they take the field here this afternoon. Well, they've been playing some pretty good baseball, 5-2 over their last 7.
And it hasn't been a homestand to remember so far. They're just 2-3 in their first 5 games, so they're going to need to pick it up.
Hitters count. Here's the 2-0 pitch. High and away, not close. 3-0. Showing some uncharacteristic wildness to start things out.
Yeah, a 4-pitch walk, pretty much not the way you want to start out against a club like this.
And that one misses as well, so it's a poor start here this afternoon as it's a 4-pitch walk to get things going.
Batting second, right fielder, number
Smith
17.
will come forward now, back in the lineup here after getting yesterday afternoon off. In the dirt here, but fortunately here, no advance. 0-1 count. Here it comes. Ripped down the first base line, but this will wind up a foul ball, strike 2. The 0-2 delivery, and a changeup swung on and missed for the first down. And now here's the starting 9 for the visiting Atlanta Braves. Eric, who stands out to you?
Well, I really appreciate the tenacity that Ender Inciarte brings with him. He leads his team in home runs, and they really rely on that power to help them put runs on the board.
Freddie Freeman will stand in now, and his batting average currently good for 7th in the National League.
Well, right now he's in the prime of his career, so these are the years you'd really expect to see the best of what a guy's going to have to offer.
And he's no doubt searching for a ground ball here as this sinker dips below the knees. It's 1-0. And there is our officiating crew in this one, calling balls and strikes, Mr. Freddie Ferguson.
Well, Ferg, as he's known amongst baseball people, really does call a good game back there. He might reward a pitcher for a good location every once in a while, but most of his calls, they seem to be spot on.
Runner at first here, 1 man out. Drilled to the right side. And a reach, but it's by him as he couldn't quite get to that ball. And that runner will go no further than second as there are 2 aboard now.
A little bad luck there defensively. If that's hit at an infielder, it's a double play. But instead, now you're in hot water here with 1 away.
Stepping in now, Adonis Garcia, as the first pitch to him is in there for a called strike 1.
And you know, all you have to do is point back to yesterday's ball game. This was part of their downfall, hitting with runners in scoring position. They just couldn't sustain any kind of offense. So this would be a big boost if he could turn the tide a little bit here and come through big.
Ready with the 0-1 pitch. Hard liner to center field. Oh, and he botches it. And now third base coach Bo Porter's going to wave him on home. And they're going to take a 1-0 lead as the run comes across to score.
And you know, this is something these guys just haven't had for a while. That's an early lead. Although I guess they haven't really had any leads, period. And that's why they're on this losing streak. But a good sign here as he drives in a run to put them up 1-0.
Here's Drew Stubbs now. And a cut fastball, but this bounces near the plate for a ball.
Now here's a spot with a run home already. That looks nice on the scoreboard. But if you could put up a 2 or even a 3 spot here in the first, that could really go a long way against a guy like this.
The set and the 1-0 pitch. Inside, and he falls behind the hitter now 2-0.
Boy, he better get it back together here with 2 guys on already. He's starting to lose location of that strike zone. He's got to throw a strike right here.
Here it comes, 2-0. Chop fouled over towards the coaching box. He's set, and the 2-1 pitch. Toward left center and fairly deep. Back goes Fowler, but he can't get it as it's off the wall. And the runner from third crosses the plate, and he is in there.
And this early hot water he's in on the mound right there just went from hot to burning hot. A second run is in to score on the double. That makes it 2-0 here in the first. And with 2 more men in scoring position now, this has the possibility of really going south in a hurry.
A.J. Pierzynski comes forward for his first try at the plate, and you have to think something's got to give. Clearly not going his way of late. First pitch finds the zone. No balls and a strike to the now 39-year-old veteran. And he falls behind 0-2. 0-2 count, and the pitch. Slapped hard the opposite way, but a quick glove at third, and there are 2 gone. And with a quick breather here, let's take a look at the Cubs alignment on defense. It's brought to us by Majestic. Any thoughts, Eric?
Well, guys, the last place you want to hit the ball against this team, right field. He won the Gold Glove Award last year. He can go get him with the best of anyone.
Eric Ibar strides forward with a hot bat in his hands. Great numbers over the past few games. And he lays off there, 1-0. Runners at second and third with 2 gone. That evens it up, 1-1. No offer on that one. 2 balls and a strike.
Well, if he's missing right here, he ain't missing by much. Not getting too many favors behind the plate.
Looking to minimize the damage here. Ground ball right side. And he'll step on the bag himself, and the inning is over. So 2 runs on 3 hits, no errors, and 2 men left on base. We'll move on to the bottom half of inning number 1. Atlanta leads it 2-0. Julio Teheran gets the starting assignment for the Braves. EK, what do you got?
Well, Matty, you take a look at that whip right there. Excellent. Just allowing a bit over a base runner per inning. We'll see if he can continue that here in this one.
Well, there you see Dexter Fowler as he'll be the one to commence the action in the bottom half of the first.
Center fielder, Dexter Fowler.
Here's a slider to start things out, looked at for ball 1. Eric, these Braves as they begin here this afternoon, boy, the last few weeks have not been kind to them, to say the least, as they're working on trying to end a double-digit losing streak.
And one thing in their corner, though, is they do have their ace going here this afternoon. So if anybody can get him out of this rut they're in, this is the guy.
Chop foul at the plate, strike 1. Sent foul again, and after being way ahead, now it's even at 2-2. Skied in the air to straightaway left. Inciarte's there, and he hauls it in for the first out of the inning. And now time to check how Joe Madden has lined the Cubbies up in this one. Steve, how do they go about trying to start out the month with a win?
Hey, just keep doing what they've been doing. They lead the league in slugging percentage. Work the ball down the lines and in the gaps. Continue to get those extra base hits that have been so crucial for them, and they're going to be successful.
Jason Hayward gets his first opportunity now, looking to extend that hitting streak, which stands at 8 games coming in. Teheran gets the sign. Here's the first pitch. Up and in there with the first pitch fastball. It's ball 1. Stung into the gap in right center for what should be extra bases. On to second goes Hayward. And he is in there safely with their first hit so far, a 1-out double.
Oh, you talk about being comfortable at the plate. That's the way he's feeling it right now. 9 straight games with that base hit now.
Chris Bryant will stand in now. 0 for 4 in that day game yesterday.
Well, that was a rough one yesterday, but he's still hitting over 300 in his last 10 games.
First pitch on its way. Chop foul right at home plate. It's strike 1. Another one fouled off, and he's quickly behind 0-2. Swing and a miss on the fastball that time, out number 2. With a moment now, let's check out the top of the scorecard and see how the Braves align themselves defensively. It's brought to us by Majestic. EK, what do you got?
Well, Matty, the last place you want to hit it, to the shortstop. Actually, anywhere between second and third base. That's how much range he has out there at this position. Very aggressive player, makes a lot of great defensive plays.
Anthony Rizzo will stand in now. Certainly a dangerous hitter as he ranks number 2 in the National League in home runs.
Well, this is a guy who's displayed a lot of power this year, but he had no home runs last month, so he really fell flat.
Started to go down after it, and he couldn't hold back. It's strike one. Runner in scoring position at second with 2 down. Swing, and he pops him up over toward foul territory. And he'll lunge out of the crouch to put this one away. Good reactions there, and the inning is over. 1 left for the Cubs. They trail it here 2-0. Kelly Johnson will stand in now as he was reinserted back into the lineup here after taking a needed day off yesterday. Into the windup and the pitch. And he'll start the inning with a pitch that misses off the plate. It's ball 1. Can't sit back long enough, and the count evens up at 1-1. And he comes up empty there on a pitch in the dirt and falls behind now 1-2.
And that is not good.
And he reaches for one out of the zone and misses rather badly for the first out.
Well, being a number 8 hitter in the National League is really one of the toughest positions a guy can be in. You know, you've got your pitcher behind you on deck, so guys don't feel like they need to challenge you. You've got to be very disciplined up there, and that time, he just wasn't.
Standing in now, Julio Teheran. As he'll look at a changeup that drops below the knees for ball 1. Bases are empty, 1 man out. And he won't bite at that one either. It's 2-0.
Well, you know, sometimes it's that natural tendency to let up just a little bit when you're facing the opposing pitcher. You know he's not going to do much damage, but you got to get refocused here because you do not want to go
in the dirt. It's 3-0 now. Bad time for the command to do a disappearing act.
He will kick himself if he loses this guy.
From the windup, the 3-0 pitch. And he gets the call there, 3-1.
Don't be surprised if he still doesn't have the green light on 3-1.
Ready on 3-1. Here it comes. And he misses here, ball 4. And somehow he manages to walk his opposite number. Wow.
Yeah, and this has been the big concern with this guy over the last couple seasons. He's prone to getting hurt by the base on balls. Already that's 2 walks here in the early going. And that's something that he's going to need to get a handle on pretty quick.
Here's the first pitch to him. This is hit the other way out toward left field. Moving under it, Schwarber. He's got it, and there are 2 down now.
And you'll see where this pitch is. It's up, but it's up far enough that he can't quite get on top of it. And he winds up lifting a lazy fly ball.
Into the box now, Smith. As he'll take a look at a strike right down the middle, it's 0-1. A runner on first with 2 away. Off-speed pitch in the dirt as he takes it for a ball.
You see right there on the graphic, these first 2 innings have been costly pitch-wise. He's at 35 already, and he's only through an inning and 2/3.
Sent on the ground out to second. Zobrist is there. Throw will go to Russell covering at second, and the inning is over. One left for Atlanta. They're up 2-0. Ben Zobrist will stride in, hoping to stay hot as he came through with a 4-hit contest yesterday afternoon.
Well, you're right. His last game was excellent, but he just keeps adding to those numbers. Over his last 10 games, he's been hitting over 350. I'll take that anytime.
Right side, hit hard. A diving try, but he can't haul it in. It's through for a base hit.
Down 2-0 here early. They get the leadoff man on to start the second. We'll see how they want to play things from here.
Kyle Schwarber will stand in now, just a few ticks shy of the 300 mark for the season.
Well, he's been hitting really well over his last 10 games or so, and he's someone to watch out for in this one.
Tehran sets. Here comes the first pitch. Sliced hard on the ground. Ibar for one. On to Freeman, a double play.
I think this one falls into the category of tailor-made. There you go. 1, 2 hops to second, the feed to the bag, and a 4-6-3 double play. That's as easy as it comes.
Here's the catcher now, Miguel Montero. Ground ball sent back up the middle. Ibar has it. Throw in time, and the side is retired. Down go the Cubs on just 4 pitches. They're still down. It's 2-0. With Eric Harris and Steve Lyons, Matt Vasgersian with you as Freddie Freeman settles in to start out the inning for Atlanta.
Freeman.
First pitch of the at-bat on its way. And the third inning begins with a changeup that misses. It's a ball and no strikes. Hit out towards second. Zobrist has it. Throw to first in time, and the leadoff man is gone to start the third.
The batter, second baseman, Adonis Garcia.
Stepping in and ready for another shot, Adonis Garcia. He reached on a single in his first try.
Well, and everyone knows he's slumping right now, so we'll see if that got him going.
He'll start him here with a changeup, but it's taken for ball one. Now a big swing, and this ball is crushed to deep left field, and the wind's going to grab it and take this on to Waveland Avenue, a home run. A solo shot here to left as the Braves have opened up a 3-0 lead.
And if he was guessing up there, he was guessing right, because he's all over that thing like a shaggy dog, and he drives it over the wall.
Here's Drew Stubbs now.
Center fielder, number 2.
He was fighting that swing the whole way, but he went around. It's no balls and a strike. That pitch count, as you see, already standing at 41.
And you don't need Eric or I to tell you about that. That's way too many this early.
Now a swing and a ball popped high in the air over toward foul ground. And he'll stay with it to put it away as they get their man here for the second out.
Might have had thoughts about going back-to-back here. This is right where he likes it, and he took a big swing at it. Wound up getting just a bit underneath it and popping it straight up.
Into the box, A.J. Pierzynski. As he goes after the first pitch and lines one out toward right center. That gets down, and he's got himself a base hit.
Well, these guys aren't wasting a whole lot of time up there. But they've taken an aggressive approach here early in the count, and it's paid off for them through the first few innings.
Settling in now, Eric Ibar. He got on top of one and was a ground out victim last time. From the stretch. First pitch here is a sinker that runs a bit too wide. It's ball one.
And that sinker is normally where he gets most of his ground ball outs. But it really hasn't been all that effective a pitch so far.
Left it up in the zone, but it's a strike, 1-1.
Even though that's a strike, that's still not a bad take because you're facing a guy that's already walked a few guys, so make him throw some more pitches. Run that pitch count up.
A swinging bunt out in front of the plate. Throw to first will get him easily, and the side is retired. Braves able to tack on another courtesy of the solo shot. We played 2.5. It's now 3-0 Atlanta. Addison Russell will stand in for the first time now, hoping to break out of this little 7-game dry spell at the plate.
Addison Russell.
On the ground up the middle. Off balance throw, but he couldn't get enough on it, so it'll be scored as an infield single.
And here's a situation where, heck, just make contact. Put the ball in play. You never know. Winds up beating this ball out.
The pitcher, Kyle Hendricks, steps up to the plate in a sacrifice situation, so let's see if that is indeed on right here.
Textbook sack situation here, guys.
He's set. Here it comes. Runner goes for second, and he pops up the bunt attempt. One away. And he's safe.
You know, guys, I'm not sure if this was really heads-up baseball or just flat-out crazy. Maybe it was just a combination of both. But he's moving on the pitch, so once he sees this ball's thrown to first, he's just going to keep right on going to third base, and he makes it all the way there. What a play.
Here's Dexter Fowler now. Here's a swing and a high pop-up. Drifting toward the third base dugout. Johnson is over, and he tucks it away for the second out.
Oh, and that's a big pitch right there to get that pop-up. That keeps the runner stuck tight to third base. And now with 2 away, your chances of getting that run home just took a big hit.
Here's Jason Hayward now, as he'll go after the first pitch and bounce one foul for the first strike. Hit hard on the ground towards second. Throw on to first gets him, and the side is retired. A golden opportunity to get on the board here goes for naught. Back with more from Wrigleyville right after this. Kelly Johnson is ready here as we begin the top of the fourth.
And they jumped out to that early lead, so now it's all about just adding on.
He's ready. Here's the first offering. Too high that time with the inning's first pitch. It's ball one.
I think that's consistent with how the strike zone gets called nowadays. You know, that's a strike in the rule book, but most umpires won't give you that pitch anymore.
Changeup stays outside and is behind 2-0. Another 2-0 count here to begin an at-bat.
Once or twice is a pattern. More than that is a trend, and he's just not going to have much success if he keeps falling behind.
Now a ball lined to the left side, but this will be a foul ball. And the pitch on 2-1. Grounded to the right. Zobrist is able to get there. Throw to first in time. One gone here in the fourth.
The pitcher, number 49, Julio Teheran.
Julio Teheran will stand in. He drew base on balls his first time. Into the seats, 0-1. 3 runs, 5 hits, and no errors so far for Atlanta. And a sinker dips too low there. Into the dirt, in fact. Sinker is right there for a called strike 2.
Hard to believe he'd let that one go. That was right on a platter for him.
Set to deal on a ball and 2 strikes. A great pitch there as he couldn't get extended on that one, and he's down on strikes for the second out. So with 2 gone here in the fourth, let's check out our pitch speed comparison for the 2 starters. And both of these guys will get it up to over 90, as you can see. 94 for one, 91 for the other. Ender Inciarte will stand in. He flew out his last time up. First offering on its way. Check to swing there and pops this one up. And Rizzo able to make the catch, and the inning is over. Down in order go the Braves, but they're on top by a count of 3-0. Leading off the inning, Chris Bryant, as they'll look to get something going here and even this game up.
And right here is an important time for them to climb back into this one. They definitely want to even this one up sooner rather than later.
Couldn't quite hold back that time as the changeup fooled him for strike 1.
Nope,
and low, it's a ball and a strike. Tehran has his target, ready with the 1-1 pitch. Oh, that one got the pitcher. But he is able to recover as he gets the out at first. 1 away now.
Yeah, and I think a pitcher's first reaction on a comebacker is to duck, get out of the way. And then when you finally figure out you're a major leaguer, your second reaction is to actually field the ball. And sometimes you can get caught between the two. But this is good awareness right here to know where this ball is, not panic, and still get the out.
Anthony Rizzo stands in now. And he commits to the pitch inside, and he definitely went around. That's strike 1. Outside for a ball, 1-1.
Yeah, and when that pitch starts off outside, it's much easier to get a better view of it and then just lay off.
High in the air out to center field. Stubbs has a read on it. 2 gone.
This crowd oohs and ahs every time this guy hits a fly ball. But he didn't get all of that one, and it's pretty much a can of corn.
Stepping in, Ben Zobrist. He singled his last time up. Sends that one out of play for strike one. The windup and the 0-1. Now a ball hit fouled off to the right side, and that just about got the first base coach. Oh, and 2, here it comes. This is pulled into right, and that's in for his second hit of the afternoon. So that's a pair of hits for him now this afternoon as he lines that one sharply into right. And as we pull up our Cubs leaderboard, you can see he ranks second on the team in that category.
Yeah, he's a big producer offensively for this ball club. Definitely one of the guys they depend on to make things happen.
Kyle will get a shot here with 2 away and a runner at first now following the base hit.
That 2-out single seemed harmless enough, but anytime you extend the inning to allow this guy to get a shot with a runner on, you better be careful.
First delivery to him on the way. And the slider's in the dirt as he lays off it for a ball.
And that's a pitch you have to lay off right there. That tight slider busting down and out of the zone, all that can do is tie you up.
One and 0 pitch on the way. High in the air and deep to straightaway left. Looking up is Inciarte. And this one is gone. A home run. It's a 2-run shot to straightaway left. 7 home runs for him on the year now. And the Cubs have made this a 3-2 ball game.
Well, this guy's been a real pain in the backside so far in this series. And this is his second home run here in 3 days, so he is really seeing the ball well now.
Here's the catcher now, Miguel Montero.
Miguel Montero.
Hit on the ground down the first baseline. This is foul for the first strike. On its way, the 0-1 pitch. And here's a ball hit in the air. Freeman is there for it. He makes the play, and that'll end the inning. 2 for the Cubs in the inning on the strength of this 2-run home run. We played 4. It's the Braves 3 and the Cubs 2. Smith heads for the box to start off the 5th in this one.
Right fielder, number 17.
First pitch of the inning is taken low and away for a ball. It's 1-0.
And this is a really important inning for him right here. Your guys go out there and get you a couple runs. You want to throw up a 0, come back in, and see if they can't get you some more.
And he misses again, 2-0. That one's in there on the black, 2-1.
Yeah, you don't see 2-0 changeups too often, but if you know a good hitter's going to be sitting fastball, don't give him what he wants.
Swinging a ball line hard towards short. And they'll start this inning off with a base hit as that one's through.
This is all about taking what's given to you as a hitter. If they want to keep working your way, fine, let them. You just have to take the approach like this. Drive it to the opposite field. Now they'll think twice about working you out there next time.
Freddie Freeman will dig in here. 1 for 2. He's singled and grounded out so far.
Yeah, putting the ball in play, sometimes that's half the battle.
He pulls this one into right, but he will come on strong out there in right and pull this one down for the first out.
And this could have really got this inning off to a great start, but it finds the outfielder's glove out there, and that runner's forced to retreat back to first.
In now, Adonis Garcia. He'll wait out a breaking pitch here that finds the zone for strike one.
Yeah, and it seems like he kind of got away from that pitch here in the last few innings. You got to think about bringing that one right back.
Fifth inning of play here in a 3-2 ball game. Hit in the air out to right. Hayward giving chase. And he brings it in for the second out of the inning.
Boy, that's the kind of play where you take your hat off and you wipe the sweat off your brow, even if it's cold outside. This guy's getting hammered right now. He better figure out something quick.
Drew Stubbs steps in, working on a 1-for-2 game so far. From the stretch, here's the pitch. Cut fastball taken for strike one. Two out with the man at first. Here's a late swing and a miss, strike two.
A lot of people think that pitch will burn straight down, but it will work back a little bit towards righties, like that one did right there.
He's ready. Here's the 0-2 pitch.
Nope.
Tried to get him to go after one below the knees, but it's 1-2.
That's a good location for that cutter with two strikes. He's either got to take that and hope it's a ball, or he's got to foul that thing off.
On the ground to the right side. Taken in by Zobrist. Throw to first in plenty of time, and the side is retired. So no runs on a hit here, no errors, one man left on. Home half of the fifth coming up. It's the Braves 3 and the Cubs 2. Addison Russell comes to the plate as we get started here in the bottom of the fifth.
And in a pretty close game so far, they'd love to see this guy get on base so they can get a rally started to get back in this thing.
I had him lunging at that one out of the zone, and that's strike one.
And if you're going to go after that pitch, you got to be thinking right field. I think he just pulled off of that one a little.
Oh, and he was fooled that time on the pitch away as he went around for strike two. Hit hard up the middle. And that is by him on into center field. So good hitting on 0-2 nets him a leadoff single.
Yeah, nothing too special about a ground ball single up the middle here, but if you keep putting the ball in play like they've been doing, good things have a tendency to happen. We'll see if this gets them started.
Kyle Hendricks did his job in his first at-bat, laying down a successful sacrifice bunt.
And it's possible he lays another one down here to move the potential tying run up another 90 feet.
Here comes the first pitch. Runners on the move for second. And they indeed have the pitcher bunting here as he gets this one down. Only plays to first, so the pitcher does his job as it's a successful sacrifice.
And with your pitcher at the plate, you always like it when he can get that bug down on the very first pitch. Not only do you let him get back to the dugout and rest up just a little bit, but you also keep that momentum going. And that's a nice job right there.
Dexter Fowler will stand in for the third time now, still without a hit, so that streak could be in a bit of jeopardy.
And I think that's in the back of his mind, but it's not something he's really focused on. He just wants to get up there and put a good swing on the ball.
Trying to hold the lead. On the ground near home. Pierzynski scoops it up onto Freeman at first, and there are two away now.
Yeah, and you know, that's a nice play back there behind the plate. For a big guy, look how quickly he springs to his feet, gets rid of that mask, and then he finds the ball here to make the throw to first to get his man.
Here's Jason Hayward now. And he's a bit tardy there on the first pitch fastball. It's 0-1.
There's not a whole lot of conviction in that swing. It was almost like an afterthought, like an emergency hack.
Fastball called for strike 2.
And you kind of get the sense that he's not really messing around out there too much. There hasn't been a whole lot of setting guys up here in this inning. He's just trying to get himself back into that dugout as fast as he can.
Has to be thinking strikeout here. And a breaking ball runs in and gets him. And I doubt there was any intent behind that.
Well, here's a pitch that just definitely gets away from him. Pretty sure you're not going to try to hit a guy on an 0-2 count with 2 outs. But hey, this is new life for these guys, and you got to find a way to make this one work out for you.
So striding in, Chris Bryant, as he'll look to bring home that tying run from second with a base hit into the outfield. And this pitch just about saws him off as he can't get extended at all. It's strike 1.
Yeah, he really pulled off of that one, and that's not the kind of swing we're accustomed to seeing from a guy like him.
Especially starting off an at-bat.
Oh, and he's really getting the better of him now. It's strike 2.
So far, he's the only guy that struck out for these guys. He's in danger of making it 2 now.
2 quick strikes, and now the 0-2. Swing and a miss. Blew the fastball right by him, and the inning is over. Cubs strand a couple. Still a 3-2 ball game. A.J. Pierzynski makes his way to the box to lead us off in the 6th inning.
Catcher, A.J. Pierzynski.
And he takes ball 1. Bounce towards the second baseman. Barehanded by Zobrist. Got him.
No way. That was awesome. And you know, sometimes these guys make it look so easy, we forget how difficult it is to make a play like that. Not only did he barehand this ball, but he also made a sweet throw on the run over to first base. So often you'll see a guy airmail or short hop a throw like that because of the bad grip you have on the ball. But not in this case. That's a nice play.
Here's Eric Ibar now. As the first pitch sinker misses to him, it's ball 1. Both teams with 6 hits so far. There's a belt-high strike to even the count at 1-1. From the windup, the 1-1 pitch. Sinker misses that time, and it's 2-1. He's fallen behind now, 3-1. And they take something off, but this one stays high, and it's ball 4.
And that whole at-bat, I felt like he didn't really want to challenge this guy. And I think this is a guy in the bottom third of the order that you really have to go after.
Kelly Johnson will dig in for the 3rd time now. He's struck out and bounced out in his first 2 trips. Ready to deliver. Here's the first pitch. Just off the outside, and it's 1-0. Runners on first with one down. That's inside. 2-0.
Well, two very good takes here. You can see they're trying to get him to hit something on the ground, but he's going to make him bring something up.
Cubs have someone working in their bullpen now as a right-hander's begun to get loose. There's a strike. It's 2-1. Chops it foul at home plate as the count moves to 2-2 now. Smoke toward the hole. And a reach, but it's by him as he couldn't quite get to that ball.
Yeah, a big hole on the right side of the infield. You see it there. With the first baseman holding, the second baseman at double play depth, there's a lot of real estate out there, and he just bounces it right through the opening.
Standing in now, Julio Teheran. Showing bunt here, but he takes ball one.
And you know, I've always thought if you're pretty sure a guy might be trying to bunt, then put that first pitch out of the strike zone. Make him show you his intentions. Maybe you get him to offer it something that he shouldn't.
Looking to keep this a one-run game. Trying to give himself up here, but this is foul, so the runners will return.
Well, of course, one of the cardinal rules of bunting, you have to try to bunt a strike. Here he just sort of jabs at this thing, pops it up, and this essentially becomes a wasted at-bat.
Here's Ender Inciarte as he'll take a look at ball one. Called strike at the knees, 1-1. One pitch is a sinker taken for his strike, 1-2.
Yeah, that's just the same pitch 3 times in a row. I guess he figures why mess with success when you get it to 1-2.
And that misses 2-2.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
And we'll get an appeal down to third, and no swing. It's ball 3. Trying to keep the game close. Here's the pitch. A shot down the first baseline. And a backhanded reach at first, but he can't flag it down. They're going to extend their lead as the runner scores from second.
And nothing gains momentum more than a 2-strike, 2-out RBI. He just stays with his ball nicely. That'll fire up the whole dugout.
Smith strides in now, and we'll see if he can come through with 2 on and 2 out here in the 6th.
Well, there's still a lot of this game left, but it is starting to get late. This is a big opportunity that they don't want to let slip away.
On his way toward the mound now is skipper Joe Madden, and he's going to motion for the bullpen as that'll be all for his starter this afternoon. 5 2/3 innings of work on his final ledger as he was not particularly sharp from the get-go here. Trevor Cahill will trot in from the bullpen as he inherits a tough spot with 2 on and 2 out.
Trevor Cahill.
Smith will be the first one to greet him now, as he'll do so with runners at the corners and 2 out in the inning. Now a changeup here to start things out, but that'll dip a bit too low, and it's 1-0. Runners on first and third, 2 away. Too much bite on the sinker, and he's behind 2-0 now.
He's showing pretty good patience here for a rookie. Those were 2 tough takes, but he's got it to 2-0.
A strike, and it's 2-1. In there, and it's even now, 2-2. Jammed him a bit there as it's fouled at the plate. The 2-2 pitch. This one's flared out toward left. Schwarber over to his left, and that's the 3rd out. Braves get a couple of hits here in plate 1. To the bottom of the 6th we go. 4, 5, and 6 coming up. It's the Braves 4 and the Cubs 2. Leading off the inning, Anthony Rizzo. And they'll need him to get something going here.
And this is a guy that can make a big change in this game with one swing of the bat, because you know he has big-time power.
And so now the Braves will get both a left-hander and a right-hander up and throwing in the bullpen. Oh, and a hearty cut there to begin the at-bat. It's 0-1. Not too many strikeouts on the ledger for him so far, but it hasn't really mattered.
Yeah, I think ideally you'd like to see him miss a few more bats, but as long as you're keeping guys off balance and you're letting your defense help you, you don't need to strike a ton of guys out to be successful.
And here's a ball hit in the air. Johnson onto the grass. Oh, and a great diving catch for the 1st out.
Well, that's about as high a degree of difficulty as you're going to find. This looks like a base hit all the way, but he never gives up on it, and he's able to range back onto the outfield grass and make a great diving catch on that little looper.
Here's Ben Zobrist now. As he'll ground this one foul off to the right, it's strike 1. Halfway to 100 pitches, here it is. Big swing and a miss at the fastball, and he's behind in the count 0-2.
And this is part of why he's had a lot of success so far. He's done a lot of work on the edges and stayed out of the middle of the strike zone.
2 runs, 6 hits. No errors so far for the Cubbies. Just got a piece to the right side. And good hustle to get over and tag him for the out.
Now batting.
And for a first baseman, if the most direct route is to just tag the guy, that's what you do. There's no sense in trying to throw it to your pitcher or your second baseman covering, especially if you don't have to.
Kyle Schwarber will stand in again as we flash you back here to the 4th inning. This was a 2-run home run that was definitely one of the big blows of the ball game to this point. Tap fouled at home plate. And a curveball's in there, so he's quickly behind 0-2.
Boy, he might be pressing his luck a little now. That's 2 straight pitches right down the middle.
We're in the 6th inning now of a 4-2 ball game. And a check swing here, but he holds up far too late as it's strike 3, and the inning is over. 3 up, 3 down for the Cubs. Still down by a count of 4-2. Welcome back here to the historic friendly confines of Wrigley Field. 7th inning straight ahead with the Braves leading this one, but before we get it started, let's take a look there at the game summary to this point. Freddie Freeman is set to get us started for the late innings of this one.
First baseman, Freddie Freeman.
First pitch coming, here it is. Sinker to open the AB in there for strike one. Sets the target low here, and it misses 1-1. Ready to deal. Here's the 1-1. Swing and a line drive, but foul. Here he comes on a ball and 2 strikes. 1-2 is an off-speed pitch. No dice. It's 2-2. Now a changeup locks him up as he looks at strike 3 called. 1 away.
Boy, and just a great call that time to turn to the changeup. That's one of those at the plate where you don't even wait for the umpire to make the call. You know you're a goner.
Adonis Garcia will stride in again, and before he takes his cuts here, let's flash you back to the 3rd inning. This was just a solo shot, but it definitely helped get this offense going. He'll start him here with a changeup, but it's taken for ball 1.
Yeah, and coming right off of that strikeout, he's got to be thinking he should be ahead of this next guy. That's a tough way to fall behind.
2-0 now.
That's a pitch you really have to learn to take against a guy like this. But even if you make contact, you're just going to get something in on the label, so that's a great take.
Chopped at the plate. That rolls foul for strike 1. Ready to deal. Here's the 2-1.
Nope.
Oh, and not an easy pitch to lay off of, but he did somehow, and he's got it to 3-1.
He knows the drill out there. You got to make him swing the bat. Cannot be giving up walks at this stage of the game, because those could be fatal.
Chopped foul right at home plate. Now a ball lifted high in the air towards shallow right center field. Fowler will call everyone off and track it down for out number 2.
And this is all about taking charge out there. That's the center fielder's ball if he can get there. So he calls everybody off, and he makes the play easily.
Drew Stubbs will step in, a ground-out victim as last time. Breaking ball for a strike. 0-1. Really a good job so far by this guy out of the bullpen.
Yeah, he's come in and really put his stamp on this game. He's thrown a lot of strikes. That's what you want.
And he misses with it. 1-1.
1-1.
Swing and a liner, but that's a foul ball. 7th inning here at the ballpark. 4-2 our score. Got him swinging, and that will end the inning. Braves are set down 1-2-3, but they still lead this one 4-2. Miguel Montero will get his 3rd shot at it here. He's bounced out and popped out in his previous 2 trips.
Well, on the bright side, I guess, he is putting the ball in play. He's just not getting that solid contact that you're looking for when a guy is really seeing the ball well.
Yeah, we see a lefty and a right-hander start to loosen up in the bullpen. Jorge Soler is up off the bench as he'll be asked to get something started in the home half of the 7th. And he just keeps rolling along as he starts another batter out with strike 1.
He's now thrown a first pitch strike to about 80% of the batters he's faced, and that is just pounding the strike zone. He's pitching so well, and this game's getting late.
Hit to short. Ibar fields it cleanly and reined in, 1 away.
You can't underestimate how important a start this is when your team's on a losing streak. He has been phenomenal, and it's all thanks to him that they've got a good shot at ending this thing.
Addison Russell digs in, coming off a single in his last at-bat. Tehran's ready. Here's the first pitch. This one's blooped out toward right center field. In there, a base hit.
Let's watch this swing in show motion. You're going to see this pitch just tie him up in knots, but somehow he's able to fist it all the way out to right field.
Tommy La Stella will come on to pinch hit here in a big spot.
Number 2, Tommy La Stella.
Pulled high in the air out to right field. Smith is there. He hauls it in without any trouble, and there are 2 away.
He continues to pitch well out there. Here's his pitch breakdown so far.
Dexter Fowler will stand in, and they've done a good job keeping him off base at the top of the lineup. He's 0 for 3 thus far.
Yeah, guys, not really providing the spark that they usually hope to get out of him. Maybe he can make something happen right here.
And that will conclude matters here in the 7th. Cubs strand 1. They trail it here 4-2. Jorge Soler will stay in the ball game as he'll likely do the catching from here out.
Jorge Soler.
A.J. Pierzynski will stand in now to lead things off, and he'll do so with the same pitcher still out there. Seems he's earned himself another inning.
I think that's a definite vote of confidence, but he's done a nice job since coming in, so you might as well ride that hot hand.
Travis Wood will be summoned from the bullpen now as he'll take over to start inning number 8. Leading off the inning, A.J. Pierzynski, as they'll look for some added insurance before the bottom half of the inning. On to the 8th here as a slider is taken to begin the at-bat. It's ball 1. First 2 pitches off the mark here. It's 2-0.
Well, you've got the matchup you wanted, but that's not going to amount to much if he can't throw strikes.
Three and 0 now.
One thing that man right there will not tolerate, leadoff walks.
Especially right out of the bullpen. This might be a quick outing if that happens.
Taking all the way, it's 3-1 now. right side. And he'll take this to the bag. 3 unassisted for the first out.
Now batting.
Good performance thus far by the visiting Braves. They lead this one in the 8th as you get a look at our line score thus far. One away for the Braves here in inning number 8, and that'll bring in the shortstop, Eric Ibar. Wood has his target. Here comes the pitch. Inside with the fastball. It's 1-0. And a high strike there. It's 1-1.
Yeah, there's a good one right there. Right over the top. And just fire that thing in there.
High and wide. 2 balls and a strike. Takes that one a little bit low. 3 balls and a strike now. And a left-handed batter waiting on deck, though there's a good shot he might get pulled back. Into his motion. Here comes the 3-1. Chopped weakly to the left. To his left, Bryant on to first, and there were 2 down.
Yeah, on a slow chopper like that, that is the third baseman's ball if he can get to it. He's got the momentum going the right way towards first base, so he'll just cut right in front of the shortstop and make that play to first.
Here's Kelly Johnson. As the changeup to him drops in there for the first strike. Drilled right back up the middle. And a good effort on the dive that time, but this will get by him for a base hit.
Yeah, he hit a good pitch there. This thing's toward the outside part of the plate, but he stays with it all the way. Uses the big part of the field and gets himself a base hit.
Stepping in now, Julio Teheran. As he'll take a look at a slider here that finds the zone for strike 1. A look here at the hits per side here in the late going. Hit the other way out toward right field. Hayward has a beat on it, and that ends the inning. Braves strand 1 as they can't add to their 4-2 lead. Jason Hayward will stand in to start out their half of the 8th with that starter still out there, and he's definitely been a tough nut to crack.
No, he's been dominant all game long, and I think part of it is that he got himself a nice lead early on, and that's allowed him to not really worry about making a mistake. He's been free and easy the whole way through.
Now action in the bullpen as their closer starts to get loose out there. First pitch here is softly hit down the line to third. That's in for a base hit, and he's 2 for 3. Poor base running there. Got him caught in a hot box between first and second. And they will tag him out between first and second.
Boy, I'm not sure what he's doing out there. I mean, you've already got the base hit. Take a turn and hold on. Turn around, give your first base coach a high five. Instead, I guess he's thinking about 2, but whatever he's doing, it didn't work out, and it wasn't all that smart.
Chris Bryant will stand in now, and he's been kept quiet out of the number 3 hole, hitless in his 3 at-bats so far.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely one of the better hitters in this lineup, and that's why he's in the middle of the order. He just hasn't been able to get it going today. It happens.
Ready with the first pitch. Here it comes. Out in front of it, strike 1. Into the windup. Here comes the 0-1. check swing, but he held up in time. Ball 1.
And you know, sometimes when you're thinking fastball, you try to get moving just a little bit early. And that's a good job of recognizing off speed and then holding back on the swing.
1-1 pitch is a slider that's cut on and missed for strike 2.
And if he's getting tired, it's not showing in his slider. That pitch is still as tight as it was in the second inning.
And he is down on strikes again. So get your hats out. That's the third strikeout of the game. And in a 4-2 game, time to check the numbers here. It's our starter comparison as we see how these two performances stack up against one another. Anthony Rizzo will stand in now, hoping to get on track as they've been able to neutralize his power out of the cleanup spot. 0 for 3 thus far.
Well, guys, it just hasn't been his day. You know, sometimes cleanup hitters are sort of all-or-nothing type hitters. But, hey, he's still...
And we'll have to leave it there as the play is made here to end the inning. Cubs are down in order. Still down by a count of 4-2. Kicking off the top of the ninth, Ender Inciarte, as they'll look for some added insurance before the bottom half of the inning.
Well, you know, he's been on base twice in this one already, so let's see if he can do it again.
Here we go with inning number 9 as the first pitch misses for ball 1. Chop foul over towards the dugout. Wood into the windup, coming home with the 1-1 pitch. Foul right at the plate. The count moves now to 1-2. To first, Rizzo is there, and he'll take this to the bag of 3 unassisted for the first out.
Now batting, number 17.
Into the box now, Smith. He's 1 for 4 for the game. Watches a fastball right there for strike 1. Just a bit late, and he's fallen behind 0-2. Now a swing and a miss on a pitch well out of the strike zone as he becomes the second out.
Well, you know, when you get 2 strikes on you, you go into that protection mode up there at the plate. Let's see where this pitch winds up. Oh, yeah, that thing's nowhere near the strike zone, and that's a good job of making a guy go fishing for something he didn't really want to hit.
Here's the first baseman, Freddie Freeman. As he'll pick on the first pitch and hit a ground ball towards second. Throw in the dirt, but a good scoop at first saves an error as this side is retired. Down in order go the Braves, but they still lead this one 4-2. Jason Grilli is on now to try to close things down here in the ninth.
Number 39, Jason Grilli.
Striding in to start the ninth, Ben Zobrist, as they'll look to get something going here and even this game up.
Well, it's a close ball game, but it's starting to get late, so they need to get at least 1 back here in this inning.
And he throws the fastball by him here, 0-1.
And that's about where he'll sit with that fastball, 93, 94. That's plenty hard enough to blow it by guys when you need to.
Grounded to third. Johnson comes up with it. On to first by Johnson, and it's in time, 1 away.
Now batting.
Well, this is what you want out of your closer. Comes in firing darts, and it's a very quick out, number 1.
Kyle Schwarber will stand in, needing to do something here to get on base as they're down to their final 2 outs.
Yeah, and you just can't worry about the score right here. You just got to be able to string together a couple of base runners and take it one pitch at a time, one runner at a time.
In there at the knees, strike 1. Here's the 0-1. And, boy, they're really giving him fits inside now as he can't get extended there, and it's 0-2 now. 1 out, nobody on. And that is swung on and missed, and things are starting to look bleak here for the home 9. There are 2 away now.
Everything's going according to plan here in the bottom of the 9th. He's just an out away from wrapping this one up.
Jorge Soler makes his way to the plate, needing to make something happen. They're down to their final out in the 9th inning.
That's not looking too good for him anymore, but you know what? There's no clock in this sport, and that's for good reason. You've got to fight for all 27 outs.
First pitch hack in here, and that's the first strike.
This fastball is looking pretty lively right now.
The 0-1. And this is swung on and missed, so the Cubs are down to their final strike here. Boy, no messing around here in this 9th inning.
And that's a closer's mentality. They're not usually the best at setting guys up. They're going to come right at you with their best pitching. That's usually a fastball.
Has them down to their final strike. Here it comes. And a swing and a miss as they definitely had him reaching for that one, and this ball game is over.
Well, and you know, maybe the calendar change will do them some good as they begin a new month with a good victory.
Before we take our leave, time for a look at our final line score here in what turned out to be a close 2-run victory. An entertaining game all in all, so if we have to choose one who stood out among all others, why not go with this man right here? He's our tops player of the game.
Yeah, you see a couple of hits for him in the ball game. This one was tight throughout, but in the end, he really helped lead his guys to this victory.
So that'll just about do it for us this afternoon. Thanks to Eric Karros, Steve Lyons, and the rest of our crew. I'm Matt Vasgersian. This has been a presentation of MLB The Show. To find out more, head on over to theshownation.com. The Braves are winners here, 4-2. So long from Wrigleyville.
The final line score for our ball game this afternoon.
All right, guys. Well, we could not capitalize in this game and take this and sweep this series against the Braves as they take one of the 3 from us and push their record now to 5-20, which is still pretty bad. We take our 10th loss of the season, and Kyle Hendricks takes his 2nd loss of the season. Julio Teheran, just as good as advertised, gets the win in this one. He moves to 3-2. Jason Grilli, with the lack of wins, only notches his 3rd save of the season. for them, but came in and pitched very well in that one inning to get his third save of the year. Home run in this game from Kyle Schwarber for us had me thinking that you know what, maybe even after the subpar start by Kyle Hendricks, we could win this one. No more offense after that. Couldn't capitalize with runners in scoring position. Name the most notable one for sure. Runner on third, only one away, and Dexter Fowler pops out, and then a tapper back to the mound by Jason Hayward ended that threat, and that would have actually tied the ball game if we could run in at the time. That would have tied the ball game. But you know what? Offense isn't always going to be on, so it is what it is. We took the loss in this one. You're going to lose some. You're going to win some in baseball. Just got to make sure you win more than you lose. Just looking ahead to tomorrow, we have our ace, Jake Arrieta, going up against Francisco Liriano. So a really good pitching matchup for you tomorrow. Although the Pirates having not very good not a good season thus far. They're 13-13. So sitting right at 500. We're sitting 5 games above 500, which is pretty good. I will take that. So that's what we're looking at tomorrow. But that's going to go ahead and do it. Thanks for watching, guys. Be sure to follow us here on YouTube at Life Raw Sports Gaming Network, as well on Twitch at Life Raw Sports Gaming, and then don't forget to give us a follow on Twitter as well at LRSGN. I'm Big Dope 7, and you guys be sure to keep it real.